I'm tired of running my video light at 100%. This is the Godox LE200 Buy, and it might finally let me stop swapping video lights for flashes every time I need a thumbnail. For years, my Godox SL60W has been pulling the weight, but even with my dark setup, this light was constantly running at 100%. For just $219, the LE200 promises a lot. A stylish metal build, accurate color, bicolor flexibility, and app control. But promises are easy. Let's put it to the test and see if it meets my video needs and is powerful enough for photography. This isn't a technical review, but there are some specs that really matter to me. The body is made of sturdy metal, which gives a very satisfying premium feel. It has a color temperature range of 2800 to 6500 Kelvin, which allows you to match it with warm artificial lights indoors, daylight or cool office tones. It can be controlled with the Godox Light app, which doesn't sound like much but will save me an enormous number of trips and even getting on a chair to change the intensity or temperature. It also has exceptional color accuracy, which makes it easier for non-professionals like me to achieve great results with budget gear. And of course, it comes with a Bowens mount, making it compatible with my soft boxes. Some complain that it doesn't include a carrying bag, but this is a studio light. At over 6 pounds, it's not something I'd personally consider packing for travel anyway. In my case, this light is staying home full time. But if you plan to use it on location, that's definitely worth keeping in mind. By the way, Instro sent me this Godox Light to test. They didn't pay me to say anything, so this is as unbiased as a Godox fanboy review can get. I leave affiliate links in the description. Using them helps support the channel and won't cost you anything extra. I'm now shooting with the Lightmon's light. The first thing I'm eager to test is the bicolor capability. I'm setting my camera to 4300 Kelvin. I have a rim light at 2800 Kelvin to leave the shadow side of my face and mimic the warm glow of my IKEA practical light. Now, for the key light, the Lightmons we are testing today. I've been playing with it and I think 5000 Kelvin gives me nice results. Now, this is where things get interesting. With the Godox app, you can control the lights remotely. And if you're using cameras like the Sony ZV-E1 or the Sony A7C II, you can use the Monitor and Control app to monitor exposure using false color. That's a firmware update that turned my entry-level cameras into cinematic powerhouses. I'm looking for my forehead and cheek to look pink. That's the secret to locking my look much faster and staying consistent across videos. I've been going back and forth between S-Cinetone, a baked-in picture profile, and S-Log 3, a flat profile for grading. I've decided to give S-Log 3 a proper chance, paired with a phantom LUT that emulates Arri Alexa Color Science, the camera behind the biggest Hollywood productions. There's something about the Arri look. It has this cinematic, almost vintage quality that feels less like YouTube and more like film. That's what you're seeing throughout this video, except for the B-roll, where I still prefer the punchier contrast of S-Cinetone. Keeping track of base ISOs across different Sony cameras and picture profiles can get confusing, so I put together a free cheat sheet. The link is in the description. Print it, keep it in your bag, or stick it in the back of your camera on label paper. What you see on screen was created to look its best on my factory calibrated Asus Pro Art OLED monitor, so let me know in the comments which look is your favorite, S-Cinetone or S-Log with the Phantom LUT, and let me know where you're watching this on. Alright, I'll stop nerding out about color science before I lose half of the audience. Let's talk modifiers. I personally prefer gridded softboxes, that's just the look I like. But this light does come with a reflector, which can be great for mimicking the harsh directional light of morning sun through a window. And if you want to go more portable, the umbrella holder gives you another versatile option. Something I use my main light for very often is shooting B-roll. And speaking of which, what you're seeing right now is a perfect example. Footage of the S3 bracket I recently picked up. What I love about video lights is that they come with a Bowens mount, so I can attach them directly to any of my softboxes. That's not the case for the flashes I use for photography, which is why I got this S3 bracket. It lets me use flashes like the Godox V1 Mid into a Bowens softbox. By the way, I bought it with my own money. I've always complained that the S2 is too heavy to bring in a backpack, and Godox delivered. I try recording some nice B-roll of products before I test them, because let's be honest, after a review they can get dusty, pick up a dent or two, or just never look as good again. So I thought, why not use this opportunity to try out the light mounts effects. They can be controlled right from the light menu or the app. And what better way to test them than on a microphone I'm already reviewing. 1 second we are on normal lighting, and the next I've triggered the explosion effect, combined with a zoom in. Could you do something like this in post? Sure, but doing it live, in camera, in real time, that is just insanely cool. I absolutely love it. So this light is actually 220 watts, which makes it one of those rare cases where you get more power than advertised. That's always a nice surprise, but honestly, I'm a little disappointed when it comes to photography. For thumbnails, I occasionally shoot with the Sony ZV-E1. Its maximum flash sync speed is only 1/30th of a second, which makes it pretty much useless for flash photography. But it's still convenient for thumbnails, because the files are smaller, and I don't need to switch to my Sony a7C II or replace all my video lights with flashes. I know I'm asking a lot from the light. Shooting through a 100cm or 47-inch softbox with double diffusion and a grid is a very demanding setup. To give the light the best possible chance, I'm shooting at ISO 400 with 1/125 shutter speed on a tripod. The real test is how far I can stop down the aperture at maximum power, and that's where the light starts to show its limitations. I get solid results at f3.5, but by 4.5 the image is already getting too dark. This light can handle your photography needs if you shoot at wider apertures. For product thumbnails, however, I often want to shoot around f8 to keep everything in focus, and this light just can't get me there. So for now, I'll have to keep swapping out my video lights for flashes every time I need to shoot photography. And honestly, I'm getting tired of it. If Godox ever released a hybrid solution combining a bare bulb flash for photography with a COB LED for video, I'd be first in line. But I imagine it wouldn't be easy to fit all of that into the small housing that connects to a Bowens mount. Alright, so to wrap things up, for video this light is an easy recommendation. Great build, color accuracy, useful bi-color range, and app control. But if photography is a priority and you shoot through a demanding modifier like I do, you may find yourself wanting more. This is the least powerful light in the lineup. If you need a bit more punch for photography, the LE300 Bi is probably the better option. And right now it's only $20 more. Same size, same weight, more power. If you need even more juice, there's the LE600 Bi. At just under $400, it's a significant jump in price, and it also adds considerable size and weight. But if you're serious about photography or working in a large space, it might be exactly what you need. I'll leave affiliate links to all three below. They all come in black or white, so take a look, compare prices at the time you're watching, and see what makes sense for you. If you still need flash for more demanding stills, check out my full review of the Godox AD200 Pro 2. It's hands down my favorite flash, and I think you're going to love it too. See you in the next one.